Hey everybody, Dark Hour 717 here with a little bit of Star Citizen news. A little bit of a different format than what we're used to. I'm not doing a video here. This is just going to be a basic update of what's going on now that the IAE 2950 Expo has ended. Hopefully everybody had a chance to get their ships and get stocked up on the things that they wanted to get while they were available. Keep in mind that the IAE skins for the Best in Show are in the process of being handed out, as well as the extra goodies that come along with that. They should be handed out within 72 hours of the end of the expo, so 72 hours from the December 2nd date. I have received all of mine. I got my clip skin and the t-shirt that goes with it, and that skin is absolutely amazing looking. I love it. Of course, the expo didn't go off without any hitches. Of course, there was some controversy around the order of release for the Mercury Star Runner. Some disappointment in some of the features of the Star Runner as far as its fuel economy. That seems to have died down a little bit, but of course then we also had the issue with the C2. People got excited seeing it in the video with Jax McCleary, thinking that, oh, it's on the showroom floor, we might be able to get to see it. Unfortunately, that was not the case. I was a little disappointed myself because I was just looking forward to seeing that thing. I have mine. Actually, I have the A2, and I really can't wait to get a hold of that thing and drop some cluster bombs on some people and see what kind of destruction that can do. But people hoped that it was a sign that it was close to being there or going to be a surprise release, but that wasn't what was happening. Hopefully they are much closer. They've been doing a lot of work on it, and there's speculation maybe by the end of the year, though my guess is we won't see it until sometime in Q1 2021 at the earliest if we're lucky. But no real news on the current state of that ship. Also going through, everybody got a chance to fly the Nomad. A little bit of a rental issue the first day that was out, so SIG went through and gave everybody a Nomad to use instead of being able to rent it. I like the little ship. Again, fuel economy is a bit of an issue with it, but that apparently is in the works to be corrected and made a little bit better. But it makes a sweet little pickup truck. I got the black and red paint to go on it. It makes it look really, really sharp. After the expo, not too much else happening after that, but patch 312 is now with Evocati, and a lot going on with this patch. This one, I am hoping that with it being with the Evocati right now, that we'll see it go to wave 1 in the next couple weeks, and hopefully to live by the end of the year, which is usually the pattern that they follow. But a lot of different notes that have come out on it. Some of the testing focus is going to be space station refinery decks, the planetary visual improvements, restricted area network rework, Lagrange point spacescaping updates, elevator panel updates, multi-tool tractor beam, which is one I can't wait for. That's going to be fun to really mess around with. Your ship entry identification and mining UI refactor. Now, I do a lot of mining, and I'm really interested in seeing that. As soon as Wave 1 PTU comes out, I'll be going in and getting in my prospector and seeing how that works compared to the way it is in live currently. I like the interface in live. It's simple, it's easy to follow. I've seen the shots of the rework, and it's hit or miss. I won't really be able to make a decision until I actually see how it functions. A couple of known issues that are going on in there right now, with players becoming stuck and unable to suicide to get in and out of vehicles which use a ladder. The multi-tool tractor beams not showing up in the shop terminals. It's just being listed as placeholder. Players are unable to land or take off in some ships due to the autopilot taking over at Lorville. The asteroids seem to be spawning in with 100% inert material with no minables present. And then there's also the Avenger series ships missing multiple HUD elements. Nomad's not appearing on the ASOPs properly. It's showing as @vehicle name with the Nomad's name. And then Outpost HDMS Han and HDMS Perlman are floating above the planet's surface, which will make it a little bit difficult to really, land there and do anything. And then there's some other known issues that they are working out. Some of the new locations are going to be the space station refinery decks. dedicated areas in the rest stop that allow players to drop off the mined materials to be refined or buy new mining equipment. And then we got the Lagrange point updates, which is going to bring in that space cloud tech. Now that looks really interesting. You'll see some screenshots or some artist rendition of what those are going to possibly look like, and they look amazing. Some of the gameplay they're working on, like we talked about with the multi-tool tractor beam, that you'll see if you watch the Inside Star Citizen. Looks like it's going to be a mess of fun, and probably a lot of videos coming out of people using it to pick up crates and drop it on their teammates. Other things that are going on, new weapons and items coming out. We have the Bearing FS9 LMG, which by today's roadmap shows that it's gone to polishing, as well as the Gemini A03 sniper rifle. They're also getting that ship entry identification into polishing as well too, so that'll be ready for 3.12 when it goes to PTU and eventually live. They're going to also be doing the Stanton system planetary improvements with some more detail and some changes to the planetary surface. The elevator panels are getting another rework there, and then the restricted area rework. This is interesting because they came out with the splines, and that was about 2 patches ago, I believe, maybe like 3.10. And the idea was decent. Unfortunately, I don't think it quite worked out the way they had hoped. There was a lot of issues with it, thinking you were outside the area when you would be dead center, and it would just grab your autopilot and throw you out, or throw you to the ground, or destroy you. A lot of people losing their ships, cargo, different things like that. I think for me, it got to a point where I just avoided those. I really tried hard to not go down to Hurston, not go down to Area 18 unless I absolutely had to. But it looks like they're going to be removing those splines, going back to the way that it was before with restricted areas, and hopefully that will simplify it and allow more people to get in there without the frustration that they were having. Some other things that they are doing here is going to be the mining UI refactor. If you've seen the videos on the RSI site, again, the HUD is being changed for that. It looks interesting, and it looks like it will have its pros and cons with that. As far as the braking area where you're in the green or the red, looks like it might be a little more difficult to work with, but we'll have to wait and see. Countermeasures are getting a bit of a rework. The countermeasures are now going to have different names, where your flares are going to be called lures and your chaff is now going to be called haze. They're also working it to where a single haze or lure will not be as effective as using multiple. So that will make it interesting to see how fast you end up going through those countermeasures. Then the Torpedo Attack and Counterbalance is getting a rework with the size 9s becoming even more powerful, which will cost. And for those that have the Aegis Eclipse or the Retaliator, it's going to cost you a little bit of speed, but I think in the long run, a little bit of speed is worth taking a hammerhead down with a few less torpedoes than what you were doing before. Prior, it would take about 4, I think, on a hammerhead. And now it means that an Aegis Eclipse may be able to take down a hammerhead by itself. The head tracking is going to be getting a rework as well too, and also implementing the forward and back motion, so leaning into your console and all that. I believe that will affect every area of head tracking with the exception of track IR. I'm not aware track IR is going to get that changed. And then as far as that, they got a list of numerous major bug fixes and all that they're also working on. So that was the initial patch notes, and then as far as the most recent update, there were a few others, and that came out, I believe, yesterday. And testing focus is all the same. They've added the Gemini A03 sniper rifle and the Bearing FS9. And aside from that, they didn't add too much. They're continuing to polish on the planet repainting and assets. The gameplay itself, they're working on the ordnance replenishing, updating the pricing of Cry-Astro versus the shop. So where you go is going to be showing a change and a difference based on where you're at. They're also working on a few different issues with the aggravated criminal damage to be auto-ignored against your party members, and set it so that armistice violations will last a week. If you don't clear it after a week's time from the offense, it will clear by itself. And then again, a numerous list of bug fixes and several client and server crashes have been taken care of as well too. Now, the other thing that has come out of this is there is word of a new Origin ship that is going to be straight to flyable, and they are saying it's going to be a 400 series. Now, this could be interesting. Of course, we just got the 100 series ship from Origin, the 125, the 135 and such, and they were great little ships. I actually had one for a while. I upgraded it to another one during the expo. But the 400 is going to be that go-between between the 300 series and the 600i, obviously. The big question is, and nobody seems to know yet, what is it going to look like? Is it going to be closer in looks to a 300 series, or is it going to be more of that flying egg shape that the 600 series is? That's going to be the big question. Obviously, the 300 series is a good ship. It has a lot of use and purpose and utility. The 600i, I'm not a fan of it. The 600i really doesn't seem to have its own purpose. There's not a lot that you can gear its use towards other than just cruising around, which a lot of people enjoy that. I'm just not one that do, and I just don't see a purpose for me to have it or use it. So hopefully whatever this 400i is going to be kind of a multi-role and several different capabilities. Where it is, it's going to have an elevator, a cargo ramp, and a lot of those features that may make it multi-purpose. How it will be defended and all that is yet to be seen, and that'll be interesting to see. So other than that, not too much else other news. If you caught the Star Citizen Live today, there was one bit of interesting information that they did come out with, and I'll just end with this. But if you watch that with, I believe it was Tony Crew that was in that, they were talking about the BMM. It is not going to be around anytime soon, but it is getting bigger to match the specs that they have in there. Yeah, I'm sorry, it was John Crew, I apologize. But the BMM is getting bigger so they can meet the specs that they had preset for it. Which I have a brand new Merchantman, and I can't wait. If it's going to take them a little longer to make it bigger to match those specs, I am all for it, because that is an amazing looking ship. The Gemini Starliner, it needs a concept. It's just not going to be anytime soon for that one. And then also, they also talked about the Javelin has gotten bigger, got some changes since the Invictus week. The Polaris is being reconcepted and getting a little bit bigger. It's still going to be in the 100-meter range. The interiors had a full pass through it, and docking collars have been added. The Taurus is nowhere near a priority or even getting looked at. It seems like that is just going to kind of get pushed to the wayside. The one that I am most excited about, and actually if you look at SE Leaks, you can catch some pictures of a possible interior on it. The Redeemer is in white box, so that is some progress on the Redeemer. I'm excited about that because I have my Redeemer, and I can't wait to get my hands on that ship. I think that's going to be my new favorite outside the Harbinger. Question being whether it's going to be a gunship or if it's going to be a drop ship. Looking at it, I will make it a gunship if they don't. I will outfit that thing and make that my daily flyer. So the Hull C's also had no active production. Some work's been done on the Hull A, but they're doing a little bit of reconception on that, and some other work being done there. I have a Hull D myself, so I'm not holding my breath that I'm going to see that anytime soon. But that's about it for the news this week. If you like this format and you like this information, please leave a comment below. Let me know if this is stuff you find useful. I would be happy to continue it and bring more information to you as I discover it or hear about it. Think about doing this on a weekly basis. But also don't forget, join Star Citizen. If you're not in the game yet, use that referral code that's in the comments. Join Amarok's Fang, our org. We're trying to grow it and have a place for everybody to go to have friends and have fun. and do different things, from the mining, the bounty hunting, the cargo runs, or just get together and just mess around and have a good time and get some good clips. But other than that, also looking to run a contest for the month of January to be awarded in February. Give me your ideas. Anything under $100 that you guys think you'd like to win, leave a comment below, give us a like. Out of all the ideas that come in, I will pick one and we will give that away at the end of January. We'll take entries from January 1st through 31st, both on Twitch and on YouTube. And give us a like and a subscribe. Any questions, throw them in the comments below. But thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this, and watch for further videos in the future from me. Thank you.